Hi, everybody. My name is Stacy Heisman, and I'm here with GI Jobs. And today I'm interviewing a really interesting veteran who is currently working in Appleton, Wisconsin, right? And his name is Tom Keddell, and he has a fantastic job and a wonderful story he'd like to share with us today about his transition from the Army into what appears to be kind of a dream job, if I read through your interview correctly. So, hi,
Absolutely.
Tom. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm great, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join me. So, let's talk a little bit about your past service. Tell me a little bit about where did you serve, and how long did you serve, and what years?
Yep. So I was in the active Army. I was down in Fort Campbell from 2009 to 2013. I was in the infantry down at Fort Campbell. I did one tour from 2010 to 2011 in southern Afghanistan.
Okay, all right. And so, when did you transition? What year did you actually leave the service?
The end of 2013.
So you took an interesting route. One, when you were infantryman, but you took an interesting route. You went directly to school. Is that right?
Correct. Yep. Right out
Okay.
of out of the Army or straight to college.
All right. So how was that? Was that kind of strange to be around a bunch of college kids, or what?
It
After
was.
everything you've seen, yeah. Tell me about that.
The first part, getting obviously taking the ACTs and SATs was kind of a jump, but getting back into the school life. I mean, kids that are probably 6, 7 years younger than you, and it was a little bit of a culture shock. But I mean, a lot of the people took me in with some open arms and helped me out through the way. So it was a culture shock, but it was fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that it must have been a tough transition a little bit. So tell me about your degree. What did you end up getting it in?
It's in operations management with an emphasis in project management. I started work at McCain Foods when I got out of the military, which was kind of a manufacturing job. I enjoyed it, so that's kind of why I wanted to go the business route.
Okay, so interesting. So that brings me to what the job that you currently have, which is, tell me a little bit about it, because I think it's fascinating that you were able to bring in your past and work in your future. So tell me about it.
Yep. So the original tie. So I work for a company called Oshkosh Corporation. It's actually we are a segment of Oshkosh. It's called Pierce Manufacturing. Um, the reason I wanted to work for Oshkosh, obviously it's hometown, but Oshkosh actually makes the vehicles that we used during the deployment. So the MATV and the MRAPs. So my goal was to try to get into here. It's kind of like another service to the community, if you will, building
Yeah,
fire trucks. So it gives
I
you
love
that
it.
ambition to come into work every day. So right now, obviously, we're number one in building fire trucks in North America. Like you said, it's kind of a dream job being a kid, seeing fire trucks as you drive by the highway, and now you get to be part of building them and driving them and flying aerials. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so there's a lot of things, and I've done interviews I've done hundreds of these interviews, and never once has someone said I build fire trucks for a living, which I think is fantastic.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, when you decided to go back to school, did you have this job in mind, or you just knew this is what you wanted to do, or you just knew the area that you wanted to work in?
I knew the area I wanted to work in. I'll be honest. I really didn't see Oshkosh or Pierce. I did apply to work at the companies originally when I got out. It didn't work out that way, but the opening kind of came when I was required to have an internship before I could graduate. Um, and our school hosted one every semester. So, in all honesty, when I went there, I originally wanted to talk to Oshkosh. So I kind of warmed up with a few other areas first, different couple of companies, just to get the feel of it. And I did wait to hold Oshkosh last. So there was maybe a little niche in there somewhere, but it worked out.
I love it. So, did I read right that you actually went to a career fair? Is that how you figured this out? Is that how you got the job?
Correct.
Oh, the opening.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
uh, one of the other things I've read in our interview with you was that some of the being an infantryman didn't really prepare you for the outside world, and that what kind of struck me, because that I think is probably more common than not. So tell me expand on that for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I think a lot of people think when you're in infantry, especially I know some of my friends that got out, a lot of them went to law enforcement or security or things like that. I I don't believe that it directly correlates to what I do, but definitely that um, the foundation of building the leadership and things like that through the infantry definitely helped me in this role. Obviously, that discipline and things like that, and the problem solving and thinking helped. Obviously, it doesn't directly correlate to kicking in a door and things like that in the military, but the discipline and everything, the base layers are there that definitely helped me out. So
That did help you out. Interesting. Okay, so it sounds like you have your dream job, and it sounds like your favorite part of the job is what I read here. You like the customer part of it. Tell me why.
it's there's goods and bads, and I'll put it both in the good category. You hear a lot of the stories of how these trucks help save lives, or you hear times where customers may have gotten into an accident, and the features of the vehicle kept them safe through the whole accident, but it also helps the community. Some of the things that we get to do, some of the retirements, we do special things for graphics for them. There's just a lot of the extracurriculars that we get to spend time with the customers and put a little, razzle dazzle, if you will, on the trucks to make it something special. It's something you can't explain unless you're part of it. So.
Well, it sounds like you get to add that personal touch, which is really cool. I think that's
Yep.
the best. Okay, so tell me, talk directly to those who are transitioning right now. What is one piece of advice that you would give to them transitioning? Just picture yourself, and what would you tell yourself a couple of years back during transition?
I would say just the number one thing is stay patient. I know when I got out, I was in the hunt for a job. It took me a little bit longer than I expected to. I thought military, and I got out, I feel like at a good time for the job market, but just stay patient. Military is always the dotted lines. You're going from here to there. You need to be here at this time, but you really start to realize that that's not that way anymore. It needs to be a little more relaxed. Just stay with it. Find something that you want to do. Keep working towards it, and usually things they work out. I mean, I've bounced all over the place. I mean, I've taken a couple of different jobs. Be open to them, and it's never just a straight ladder shot up to the top. You just got to work around and accept some of the things as they go, but it's going to work out in the end.
You're not the first person to say that it's a circuitous route to get to where you are from leaving the service to where you are now. So I think that's fantastic. All right. Well, listen, Tom, I appreciate you spending your time with us today. I think your story is fantastic. I think the fact that you get to build fire trucks for a living, I think is the coolest thing ever. So congratulations to you on a successful transition. And thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Yep.
Bye-bye.